Hi, I'm Karen Nolkemper, the host of the Joy of Life series. We are interviewing Dr. Bill Sears. Dr. Sears is a Harvard graduate and he's been a pediatrician for 45 years. He is also the author of 40-plus books regarding child care and parenting. And we're going to learn how to raise the healthiest children in the neighborhood right here at SJEN TV. Welcome to the Joy of Life series. My name is Karen Nolkemper. I'm the Executive Director of the Respect Life Apostolate, and I'm the guest host on today's program. Thank you for joining us. And in our audience, I am privileged and I have the pleasure to welcome and to introduce Dr. Bill Sears. Dr. Bill Sears, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you, Karen. It's a joy to be here. I love this program.
Oh, good. Well, thank you so much. And we are so honored. And by way of introduction, just to let you know, Dr. Sears, he has been a pediatrician for 45 years, and he has authored, I believe it's 40-plus books on child care and parenting. So he's definitely an expert in that field. And Dr. Sears and his lovely wife, Martha, they are the proud parents of 8 children, is that right?
8, yes.
8 children. So he's definitely an expert, both professionally and personally, on child care and on parenting. So, and Dr. Sears, out of the 8 children, I believe you have 1 child who has Down syndrome, is that right? Special needs. And then 3 of your children have also become doctors, is that correct?
Yes,
right.
The local joke, they practice with me, and the local joke is it takes 3 of the younger Dr. Sears to do the same job the older Dr. Sears did.
There you go. Good. That's right. Good. So 3 of them are following your footsteps. Cool. That's very nice. Well, good.
Thank you.
And we are just so blessed. And I'm just excited to also share with you some things about cutting-edge research. Dr. Sears has just a wealth of information regarding child care, parenting, and in particular, how to raise healthy families and healthy children in today's generation. So we are very, very blessed and excited to just dive right in on some key questions we've had from a number of our audience members. So I'd like to just jump right in and ask you about some of the trends that we're seeing here with our children. A friend of mine, she's a mom, she's got 4 kids, so she's a busy lady too. Not quite 8 children, but 4 is still a pretty good number of kiddos. She was sharing with me that she and a lot of her girlfriends are hearing that this current generation of grade school kids is called the generation of learning disorders. And I found that very tragic and sad, but also very telling. Because as I know that you've heard and seen, there's been a large increase in the number of cases of ADD or ADHD, dyslexia, OCD, anxiety. A lot of parents are dealing with these issues with their grade school children. Yeah. And I'm wondering, how in the world did we get here? And then what can parents do to help their children with these issues?
Well, Karen, you just asked a very important question to which there's not a short answer, but I'll try. Now, first of all, ADD, ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Right. The D is a difference, not a disorder.
A difference and not a disorder.
That's important for parents to know. Some children think differently and learn differently because they're wired differently. These kids think outside the box. Now, given smart parenting, smart teaching, good nutrition, these kids grow up to build better boxes. They're the inventors, the creators of the future. You go into these high-rises where these inventions are done.
Sure.
These kids have labels. And the joke was, I've been there. I said, which label did you get when you were growing up?
Wow,
which D?
interesting, yeah.
And in fact, I remember, I have a confession.
Okay.
I had ADHD before it was invented, all right?
Got it.
Now, I still remember my 4th grade teacher, Sister Mary Ursula.
Sister Mary Ursula.
I know you're up there. Sister Mary Ursula means little bear.
Okay.
Now, Little Bear had my number.
Okay, Little Bear had your number.
Oh, man. At 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock every day, she'd see me staring out the window because I wanted to be out the window.
Sure.
Now, and she said, Billy, go outside and run around the schoolyard 3 times and come back and sit still. That was my Ritalin.
Interesting.
Work like a charm. Now, guess what the newest medicine for ADD, ADHD is? The newest medicine that has more research behind it than any drug. Movement.
Yes.
Sister Mary Ursula nailed it.
She had it right way back
She
then.
did.
Right.
So what's interesting now, and they've done studies on this, where they've taken, and it's usually boys, and girls too, but the girls are more silent and reserved about it. Now they've done studies where they've taken kids labeled with the D's,
Okay.
they have them come to school a half hour early, they call it 0 period,
Okay.
and they have them run around the schoolyard and exercise and move for a half hour before school. And they noticed that many of them could come off their medicines,
Wow.
their focus pills, we call them.
Wow.
Their grades would go up, their attention got better. So movement is your new medicine for ADD, ADHD. Once they took recess out of schools, the Ritalin dosage went up.
Isn't that amazing? Like just what Dr. Sears
Yeah.
said. Once they took recess out of schools, the Ritalin dosage went up. So getting back to a very practical, natural, free remedy, if you will, that medicine being movement or exercise as opposed to the negative effects of medications and various doses and whatnot. So again,
So movement, move. So the first new treatment
Okay.
is move more.
move more.
Secondly, feed your child smart foods. You put junk food into the brain, you get back junk behavior and junk learning. Your kids are not going to learn from that artificial, sweetened, and colored junk breakfast. Give them smart foods.
I agree. And just to your very point about smart foods, that makes a lot of sense. And we're just now starting to hear more and more about smart foods and doing a little research on you and research on this important topic here too. Looking at the connection, there's some profound research now between brain health and gut health. The connection between the health of your brain and the connection between that and the health of your gut, that connection. So I'm wondering if, and just kind of thinking out loud here, if perhaps some of the root causes of some of the issues we just talked about, you know, ADD and ADHD, if some of those root causes aren't maybe perhaps rooted in the health of a person's gut.
The gut.
Okay, please
You
share more about this.
Absolutely, Karen, you nailed it. Because, and here's the reason, I'm going to go into this full detail, because this is all new, fascinating research. In fact, we have a new book coming out on this. It's called The Second Brain. The gut is called the second brain for a reason.
Yes.
So let's take a trip into the gut for a minute. The lining of the gut, I call it a silver lining. The lining of the gut is lined with trillions of microscopic bacteria.
Right.
It's called the microbiome. Translation, bug home.
A bug home, okay.
Bug home.
Sure.
So you have, so just picture you have trillions of these bacteria lining your gut. Now, in return for a warm place to live and free food, they make medicines for your body. So you picture you have these little pharmacists inside, these little bug pharmacists, manufacturing medicines for you. Wow.
Got it.
And what they do, and this I'll talk in young kids' language, the gut bugs, the microbiome, continually send text messages from the gut brain to the head brain.
Right.
Hey, head brain, don't do stupid things up there. You prompt the eater to eat smart foods. So there's this connection, and I have this talk with parents early on about shaping young tastes.
Okay.
Start, say, with veggies. We start with avocados at 6 months and salmon at 7 months.
Sure.
Why salmon? Salmon's full of fat. The brain is 60% fat.
Got it.
And how I get parents to remember that is you are growing a little fat head.
You're growing a little fat head. I like
head.
this. Okay.
So here's what happens. When you start with healthy foods, the tongue is very rich in taste buds, taste receptors. So the child gets, say, an avocado on the tongue. And the taste buds say, ah, like. I like that. Taste buds send a text message to the brain, and the brain says, like, and the brain sends a text message to the gut brain, the microbiome, says, hey, you got good food coming down there, digest it well, and you get this constant email between the gut brain, the head brain, and the taste bud saying, like, continue to eat real food, and you'll have real good health, and you'll have real smart behavior and learning in school. It's as simple as that.
It makes so much sense. It's profound and groundbreaking, because you don't always hear that, but it makes complete sense. And we're seeing the results of that too, both the good and the bad of neglecting this, what we're seeing in terms of problems, as we mentioned before, versus the health. Well, tell me, a little bit more about that. Are people receptive to this message? Where some hopeful trends? I'd like to hear more about that.
The good news is, I think we're going to see the grandest age in medicine we've ever seen in the last 30 years. And the reason why, very simply, people at all ages want fewer pills
Amen.
And more skills.
Fewer pills and more skills. That makes a lot of sense.
You come into the doctor, and it used to be, doctor, what can I take?
Right.
Go here, scribble out prescription, next. Now, doctor, I want what can I take, but also what can I do?
Right.
Now, let me go into some Nobel Prize winning research for you.
Please.
This is exciting. So imagine, I don't want to say we'll play God, but imagine God was designing the human body.
Sure.
All right. He knew that we're human, and we're going to mess up.
Right.
We're going to put dumb foods in our mouth. We're going to get dumb behavior from it.
Right.
We're going to get pains in the gut from it.
Right.
So, God put within our body its own pharmacy.
Right.
So we all have our own pharmacy inside our body. Now that pharmacy makes most of the medicines you're ever going to need. Now, not all of them, or we doctors would be out of business, but your pharmacy makes medicines that lowers the highs, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high blood cholesterol, medicine that raise the lows, antidepressants, anti-anxieties, medicines that heal your hurts, anti-inflammatories, medicine that keeps your blood from clotting too fast, anticoagulants. I just mentioned all the medicines that a lot of people take. But the medicines you make inside are better than what you take because they have no side effects. And they're custom made just for you. Now, say if you were designing, Karen, the pharmacy to do that, where in the body do you think you would put it?
Well, here you're looking at your gut health as well as your brain health, but your gut is where.
The gut, it's in the gut lining too.
Right. But also.
But you want that medicine to get into the bloodstream real fast.
Right. Right.
So, our great designer, God, put the lining of the blood vessels, called the endothelium, the silver lining.
Got it.
Is lined with trillions of microscopic medicine bottles.
Wow.
And those medicines, those medicine bottles open up 24/7 and dispense medicines into your system. That's the good news.
That is the good news.
The bad news is, for many people, their pharmacy is closed.
Because their body has been so damaged, I would imagine, by what's gone in. Because we've all heard that adage, garbage in, garbage out.
Garbage in, and what that garbage is, let's follow the garbage and see what it does to the medicine bottles. Right? I call the garbage sticky stuff. The kids like that, sticky stuff.
That makes sense, they get that.
Sticky stuff, all right, sticky stuff. So you put the sticky stuff in your mouth, and the sticky stuff goes into your bloodstream. And it settles on top of the medicine bottles.
Okay.
So your pharmacy's closed.
Sure. They're clogged or closed.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I was giving this talk to a first grade class, all right, 6, 7-year-olds. And I show them pictures. You put sticky stuff in your mouth,
Sure.
you get sticky stuff on top of your medicine bottles.
Yeah. Sure, that makes
Mhm.
sense. Makes
So
sense.
Mom was telling me, they went home that day, and one of the students, one of the little first graders, Daddy was taking them all out to, let's call it Sticky's Burgers
Okay.
for dinner that night.
Right. Not the real name of the restaurant, but I
Right.
get your
So
point.
they
Right.
pull into Sticky's Burgers, and the 6-year-old scolds her daddy. Daddy, we can't put that sticky stuff in our mouth.
Yeah.
We'll get sticky stuff on top of our medicine bottles, and our pharmacy will be closed. 6
Wow.
years of
Wow.
age.
I get it.
School teachers, pay attention.
That's right.
Kids love to learn
Absolutely.
about the connection between
Yeah.
good food, good health, opening your medicine bottles.
Right.
They can remember that.
Absolutely. That makes so much sense. And I guess for me, the trend, are we seeing where people are starting to learn this? Are they being taught this? Obviously,
Yes.
your website and your books that you've shared,
Yeah.
over 40 plus books, and so a new book coming out. Where else can they learn this information? It would be my first question. I have a follow-up
Well,
question too.
they can learn it, one, on our website, AskDrSears.com. Secondly, we have a institute called the Dr. Sears Wellness Institute,
Okay.
where we train coaches to
Okay.
go out into the community
Right.
and, shall we say, preach the gospel of good health.
Love it. Love it. To preach the gospel of good
Preach
health.
the gospel
That's
of good
wonderful.
health. Really. And schools, especially, since we opened
Right.
with schools. So I surprise teachers. I say, all right, why do we send our kids to school? They say, well, that's kind of a crazy question.
Right.
No, why do we send our kids to school? The answer, to give them tools to succeed in life.
Right.
What better tool is health?
Absolutely.
What better gift you can give your children? The gift of health.
Absolutely.
When our fourth child got married, Aiden, she, they get up at the wedding and they say, you hope they say nice things about their family.
Right.
And she said, Mom and Dad, I want to thank you both for giving us kids the gift of health.
Wow.
Parents, that's what you want your children to say to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because you're training them for a lifetime, and think of the great
Exactly.
course. Mental health, physical health,
Yeah.
spiritual health. All that stems from having that healthy temple, that healthy body, and
Right.
learning those good habits early on. And I guess I'd like to just pick up on something you mentioned about the sticky stuff on top of those medicine bottles.
Yes.
Tell me about the hope for correcting that turn. How can we
Yes.
turn that around?
2 ways to correct it. One, you don't put sticky stuff in your mouth.
Makes sense. Yeah.
That's it. The second, and this actually won the Nobel Prize, what I'm about to say,
Okay.
movement.
Makes sense.
All right? We are a generation of sitters.
Yeah.
In fact, for the first time in medical history, 2 years ago, the sitting disease is now an official disorder.
Wow.
The sitting disease.
Is there really?
Yeah, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Here's why movement's so important. When you move, and I'm going to demonstrate this with my hands a little bit because won the Nobel Prize. When you move, the blood flows faster over the tops of the medicine bottles. And it creates a special energy field called a shear force.
Okay.
And it pops the lids of the medicine bottles open.
Wow. Easy. Makes
So
sense.
movement opens your own internal pharmacy. And so if you want to have some fun, try that, Karen, tomorrow. Try this. If you want to have some fun with your friends, say you're out walking real fast.
Sure.
You're in the gym on a treadmill, or you're playing golf. You're just out with friends moving.
Sure.
And you're moving real fast, and it says, oh, it feels so good to be opening my pharmacy. I'm opening my pharmacy and making my own medicines. Thank you, God, for putting this pharmacy inside. And they'll look at you a little bit.
Yeah, they might, right. I have to be careful what I say. I may not say that whole thing, right.
What is this pharmacy? Yeah, movement makes my medicines. Movement helps me make my own medicines. And that's what happens inside. So no sticky stuff foods.
Right.
Eat smart foods, real foods. Somebody asked me the other day, Bill, what diet are you on? The real food diet.
Love it. Makes
Simple
sense.
as that. And move more. So move more and eat real foods is the simplest I can make it.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. And that's easy for everybody to do.
Yeah.
It's free, it's natural, there's no negative side effects, only positive benefits.
Exactly.
Makes a lot of sense. Is there something, just for people who are thinking, well, that makes sense, but where do I start? You mentioned your website, you mentioned the Institute. Is there something, what should people, on a very practical, simple level, just a few things to start doing for themselves and their children? Something good as well as maybe
Yes.
something to stop
Right.
on the negative end. So we
Sure.
can look at
Very
start and stop, very practical.
Very practical. We have what we call Transform 5.
Okay.
That's the program we use in our office for this. Just 5 steps.
That's easy to remember. 1, 2,
5.
3, 4, 5. 5. Okay.
All right. Number 1, you eat what we call the 5S diet.
Okay.
Smart foods, healthy foods. First S, seafood. Best seafood, wild salmon.
Okay. So
Remember?
the fat for the brain.
Fat.
60%.
Fat head.
Got it. Fat head,
and
salmon.
fat head. They
Got
go
it.
together. Secondly, smoothies. Oh, a
Okay.
shake a day helps keep the brain doctor away.
Ah, okay.
right.
And tell me what would be in a smoothie. Some people
Oh,
might have their own ideas
okay.
of smoothies. What would be the best smoothie?
Fruits and greens and yogurt and
Okay.
kefir, nut butter, avocado, coconut milk,
Sounds good. Sounds very good.
and a good healthy sweetener, figs.
Figs. Okay.
Figs.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
Who knew? This is good.
I bet there was figs in the Garden of Eden.
I bet there were. I bet there were. They're actually very good. Oh, that does sound delicious.
Smoothies,
Good.
yeah.
So salmon and
Yeah,
smoothies. Yeah.
Salmon and smoothies, salads,
Salad. Okay.
and smart snacks,
Smart snacks. Okay.
and then supplements based on science. No science, don't use a supplement. And then the second S is graze, smart snacking.
Okay.
Graze on mini meals. The smaller your meal, the better your gut will feel.
That makes a lot of sense.
All
It
right.
does.
And the third of the 5S is move more, 5 types of exercise a day.
Okay.
The fourth is stress less, 5 stress busters.
Okay.
And the fifth is share with 5 friends. So we have this
I love
this Transform 5, and I I show a picture. I says, you hold the key to your health in the palm of your hand.
Right.
That's it. You know, you eat well,
Right.
you graze more,
Yeah.
you move more, you stress less, and you share.
Oh,
That's
that's
it.
beautiful. Makes a lot of
That's
sense.
it.
Very simple and straightforward, easy to take in, easy to do, easy to follow. So
Sure.
thank you. That makes a lot of sense. And I'm really encouraged by what you're doing again with that cutting edge research, because again, we're seeing such an increase in all of those D's that we talked about, the disorders or the differences, if you will, and to give parents hope that it's simple. They can do this. It's about movement and
Yes.
eating and reducing stress, because we've all seen, whether in children or adults, the effects of staggering stress and toxic foods and a lack of exercise or the sitting disease, as you mentioned
Exactly.
before.
And and that's so important nowadays because kids are sitting
Absolutely.
with tablets. You know, there's pain, and that's not going to go away.
Right.
You know, we are going to always live in a technological age, and
Sure.
some advantages to that. But here's what I give my little talk when I have the
Sure.
kids in the office. I says, Joe, you got text neck. I said, what's that? I said, you look like an old man. Come on. You know, a 9-year-old is like this all the time, and they come
Right.
in looking like, you know, text neck. So text neck is a term we use in our
Sure.
office. Oh my goodness, I never thought of that. So I tell the parent, all right, the same number of minutes per day or hours
Yes.
that they spend in front of a screen
Right.
must be spent in some form of movement.
Love it.
Now, remember Dr. Mom? My favorite doctor will always be Dr. Mom.
Sure.
Mom's medicine for boredom and bad behavior, go outside and play.
Love it.
Go
That sounds
outside
great.
and play. You know, Karen, there's a whole science now called the neuroscience of nature.
Okay.
Dr. Mom was right.
Yes.
Go outside and play.
Absolutely.
The colors of the sky, the greens of the field, they mellow the mind.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm going to use I promise, only one big medical brain term in the whole program.
Okay, good, good.
All right. This is called the retinal hypothalamic pathway.
Retinal hypothalamic pathway. Did I get it?
Almost.
I got it. Almost.
That's pretty
Okay.
good. That
I
was
close.
good.
Okay.
Right. All that means is what you see beautiful in nature, God's creation, goes into your eye, the retina.
Sure.
The retina of the eye. And there's a special big nerve that goes from the retina to the happy center of the brain.
Okay.
The hypothalamus.
Sure.
So when you see the beauties of nature,
Mm-hmm.
it registers in the happy center of your brain.
Wow.
So this is why kids in school,
Mm-hmm.
they're staring out the window. Again,
they're taking in the beauty.
they want to be
outside.
out the window.
Right, right.
You know?
Absolutely.
So go outside and play. So stress, take a walk.
Right.
Now, what I hope schools I hope are listening, I hope they are, because stress is now epidemic among school students.
Very frightening how stressful
With
situations
things we
are
used
where
to,
they're at.
the
Right.
things we called adult onset diseases,
Yes.
that term doesn't exist in medicine anymore because it's happening at a younger age. Schools need to be teaching stress reduction.
I agree.
Meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 3 years in a seminary.
Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah.
And I remember my seminary professors, we didn't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
They said we started every day with a meditation walk in the woods.
Love it.
And when we were stressed, which we were,
Yeah.
go out and take a walk in the woods.
Right.
So schools, teach children how to meditate for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Attitude of gratitude.
Absolutely.
And we do this with our kids, take a deep breath and just say, thank God for my
Right. Fill in the blank.
wife.
Sure.
All right, here's my meditation in the morning. And I do swim meditation.
Okay.
Swimming meditation, hydrotherapy, is actually called flotation therapy.
Got it.
Professional athletes do this.
Okay.
So I do to breaststroke. Thank you, God, for my wife.
Love it. So you've got the movement and the
Thank
meditation.
you,
Yeah.
God, for my life.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you, God, for my MD.
Yes.
Please make it my ministry. Or,
Love it. Love it.
See, so these are type of meditation, stress reduction
That makes a lot of
tools that you want your child to carry that toolbox with them
Absolutely.
the rest of their life.
Right. To give them, again, the gift of great health on all levels.
Yes.
Well, Dr. Sears, my goodness, our time has flown by so quickly. I am so grateful for your expertise, your wisdom, for joining us today. And again, just some wonderful takeaways with the Transform 5 in terms of eating smart foods, in terms of more movement, in terms of an attitude of gratitude with the meditation and rest. So we're going to have you back. Will you come back?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh, yes. Well, again, thank you so much. God bless
Thank you.
And until next time, this is Karen Noldkemper with the Joy of Life series. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, and parents, give your children the gift of health.